He thought he was untouchable. Hudson Carmichael, heir to one of the largest logistics fortunes on the eastern seaboard, sat at the center table of l'Orangerie, the kind of restaurant where reservations were inherited, not booked. Crystal chandeliers cast warm light over white linen tables. The air smelled of truffles, aged wine, and quiet judgment. Hudson leaned back in his chair, swirling a glass of amber liquid with careless confidence. Across from him sat Tiffany Banks, 23, stunning and decorative in the way Hudson preferred. Platinum hair, perfect smile, empty curiosity. "This wine is incredible," Tiffany purred. "Way better than the stuff we had in Paris." Hudson didn't look at her. "It's a 92 Screaming Eagle," he said flatly. "Calling it wine is like calling a Ferrari a car. Just drink it." She giggled, pretending the dismissal didn't sting. Being with Hudson meant understanding your role. Look beautiful. Stay quiet. Don't ask questions. Hudson's attention drifted toward the city skyline, beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows. 32 years old, CEO of Carmichael Industries, a dynasty handed to him, and sharpened by his own ruthlessness. Women, to Hudson, were accessories, temporary upgrades, disposable, and the one woman who had ever believed otherwise had been thrown out like trash. Elina Davis. The memory surfaced uninvited, for years together, before the billions, before the suits, before the press. Elina had been a waitress then, tired, hopeful, endlessly supportive. She worked double shifts while Hudson chased investors, cooked cheap meals in their tiny apartment, believed in him when no one else did. And when he finally made it, he discarded her. Hudson still remembered the rain that night, the suitcase by the door, Elina in her old sweatpants, stirring pasta. "I need someone who shines," he'd said coldly. "You're average. I'm building an empire. I can't drag dead weight." Then she told him, "I'm pregnant." He laughed. "Don't try to trap me. If you are, fix it." He handed her a $10,000 check, severance pay, and walked out. Now, 3 years later, Hudson didn't feel guilt. He felt vindicated, until the room went silent. Not the respectful hush of wealth, the shocked kind. Tiffany leaned forward. "Hudson, look." The maitre d', Jean-Pierre, a man who bowed to no one, was practically sprinting toward the entrance. The staff lined up as if royalty had arrived. Hudson turned and froze. The woman who entered l'Orangerie was not the Elina Davis he remembered. She was radiant, commanding, dressed in deep crimson silk that clung to her body like it belonged there. Diamonds caught the light of her throat and ears, real ones, and she was heavily pregnant. 8 months, easily. Her hand rested proudly on her belly. But that wasn't what made Hudson's blood run cold. It was a man holding her hand. Tall, broad, silver-streaked hair. A presence, so heavy the room bent around it. Arthur Caldwell, the most feared billionaire in the room. The man blocking Hudson's biggest deal. And he was looking at Elina like she was his entire world. Hudson felt something unfamiliar twist in his chest. Fear. And then Elina looked at him, not with anger, with amusement, as if she already knew how the story ended. Hudson thought the past was buried, but it had just walked in wearing diamonds. l'Orangerie did not breathe again until Elina and Arthur moved. Jean-Pierre bowed, so low it bordered on reverence. "Your table is prepared, madam." "My husband prefers his red at exactly 62 degrees, Elina said calmly, "and sparkling water, room temperature." Husband. The word struck Hudson like a blow. Arthur guided her toward the private balcony, the table Hudson himself had been denied earlier that week. As they passed, Elina stopped. She turned slowly. Their eyes met. No hatred, no pain, only distance. She glanced once at Tiffany, then back at Hudson. A smile curved her lips. Then she turned away, dismissing him without a word. Hudson's jaw clenched. "That's Arthur Caldwell," someone whispered nearby. Tiffany grabbed his arm. "Hudson don't." But humiliation burned hotter than reason. "That woman was my waitress," Hudson snapped. "I'm not letting him be fooled." He stood, Jean-Pierre tried to block him. Hudson shoved past. The balcony was intimate. Candlelight. Park views. Power concentrated into silence. Arthur looked up slowly. "And you are?" he asked. Hudson ignored him. "Well," Hudson sneered, "I didn't know they let the help sit here now." The temperature dropped. Elina didn't flinch. "Hello, Hudson," she said calmly. "Don't hello me," he spat. "Who paid for this dress?" "Him." Arthur rose. Elina placed a hand on his arm. "Sit," she said softly. Arthur obeyed. That terrified Hudson more than anger ever could. "You think you know me," Elina said, "but you only know the girl you abandoned." Hudson laughed nervously. "You're still nothing, just wearing a costume." Elina smiled, sharp. She slid a card across the table. "Heavy, black, metal. Elina Caldwell, founder and CEO, Horizon Global Logistics." Hudson's heart stuttered. Horizon, the company blocking his empire. "You," his voice cracked. "I am," she said. "And tomorrow," she continued, "I begin buying your debt." Arthur leaned forward. "She's worth more than your family estate," he said calmly. "And she's my wife." Security appeared. Hudson was dragged out as Elina whispered, "You underestimated the waitress." Outside, on Fifth Avenue, Hudson stood shaking, humiliated and plotting. Humiliation didn't break Hudson. It made him dangerous. 2 weeks later, Hudson stared at red numbers bleeding across his office wall. Horizon was dismantling him. Then the investigator arrived. Photos. A toddler. Dark curls. Steel gray eyes. Hudson's eyes. "His name is Leo," the investigator said. "Elina's son." Hudson felt something spark. Not love. Leverage. "She hid him from me," Hudson snarled. "She stole my air." He smiled. "I'll take what she loves." Hudson found the child and turned him into a weapon. The gallus shimmered with wealth. Elina glowed until Hudson whispered one word. "Leo." Her world cracked. "I file for custody," Hudson said softly. "Drop the takeover, or I take your son." Elina broke. She agreed. Arthur watched, silent, calculating. Hudson walked away smiling. He thought he won. Hudson didn't realize he'd already confessed. Hudson signed. Smug. Victorious. Then Arthur pressed a button. The recording played. The DA stepped forward. Elina stood. "You never had rights," she said. "Arthur adopted him. Years ago." Hudson collapsed. Then the markets opened. His company imploded. Handcuffs clicked. Hudson lost his son, his company, and his freedom. Hudson went to prison. 15 years. No legacy. No heir. No name. Elina went home. To Leo. To her family. To peace. She didn't win because she was richer. She won because she protected what mattered. And Hudson learned the final truth. You can buy power. You can steal wealth. But threaten a mother's child, and you lose everything.